Willie D Live.
Family, let's get into this story of Rob Reiner and his wife Michele's murders. Man, this is cold-blooded. This is cold. This is ice cold-blooded right here. It's one thing that they were killed. It's a whole other thing when you discover who actually killed them. That uncivilized mutt on the right is their son, Nick. Nick is accused of killing his mother and his father, slashing their throats. Let me tell you something, fam. Rob Reiner was like one of my favorite TV characters of all time. I absolutely loved his role. I mean, he's done a lot of great stuff in TV and film. He's most noted, actually, for most people over the years as a great director. You know, he's directed some major movies, including A Few Good Men, which was one of my favorite films. But my favorite Rob Reiner moments were on All in the Family. All in the Family, to me, is one of the greatest TV shows ever written, greatest casted shows ever written. It cannot be duplicated. It will not be duplicated. But let me tell you something, fam. Now, and I watch the reruns. So now when I watch the reruns, it's going to be different. Because when I see him now, I have to be constantly reminded of his tragic end. This uncivilized mutt, who they brought into the world, slashed their throats. He slashed their throats, family. Yeah. They got him in jail right now on a $4 million bond. I feel nothing for him. Like, I'm a straight up fam, excuse my French and pardon my vernacular, but fuck that dude. For real. For real. Let me tell you something, fam. I had moments with my mother where my mother was abusive, but I never considered killing my own mama. I never considered taking the life of the person who gave me life. Once you wrap your head around doing something like that, life is over for you. You serve no purpose for humanity. There is nothing positive that you can give to humanity. You may as well go ahead and just check out. Just go ahead and check out. You take the life of the person who brought you into the world, the people who brought you into the world. This sounds like entitlement to me, fam. They say that this guy was an addict, a drug addict for years and years and years. They say he was a drug addict. And he had some mental health issues. Now, if you break that down, you would conclude that he probably faced some type of trauma. Maybe that trauma was created by his parents, or maybe he created the trauma. Sometimes kids of famous parents, the trauma is that they can't live up to their parents' accomplishments. Sometimes that's where the trauma comes from. Having a famous parent, having a famous father, right? Somebody that has so much power, right? So sometimes that's where that comes from. But needless to say, there have been millions and millions and millions of people throughout history who's had to go down not had to go down, but who has went down that road. And they came out on the other side, or they didn't come out on the other side. Whatever happened, they didn't resort to killing their parents. So the word on the street is Rob, his wife, Michele, and their son, Nick, attended Conan O'Brien's Christmas party Saturday night. At the party, Rob and Nick got into a very loud argument, loud enough for many people to hear. Sources say that Michele left the party. Rob and Michele left the party, but they don't know if Nick left as well. So Michele had been anguishing to friends over the last few months that she and Rob were at their wits. They were at their wits' end over Nick's mental illness and alleged substance abuse issues. And they did not know what to do with their son, saying that they tried everything. Well, I wonder if they tried kicking his ass out the house. See, sometimes, family, you have to save yourself. Sometimes you're not going to be able to save everybody. You can't save everybody. You can't save everybody. Sometimes you got to just save yourself. So it looks like to me that these guys tried everything, and obviously Buddy still had access to their house. He was still allowed inside of their house because that's where he killed them at. So apparently there was something that he did not do. That was one thing that they did not try. Sometimes you got to cut people off to save yourself. And this is the way I look at that. I look at it like, if this person is treating me a certain way and putting my life in danger, they obviously don't really care about me that much. So why should I care about them that much? If you're going to put my life in danger, I got to save myself. So it looks like they tried everything but cutting him off. And it looks like to me that dude was one of those self-entitled kids. Yeah, he had that sense of entitlement. In and out of rehab, some sources report that he was in rehab 15 different times. You can't save a person who don't want to save themselves. You can't save a person who don't want to be saved. So, as you know, family, Rob and his wife were found in their LA area house on Sunday with their throats slit. Nick was arrested Monday morning and booked for murder. He's being held on a $4 million bail. 15 rehab stints. Some might say that, well, that's a failure of the industry. It is true that the industry do have a low cure rate because typically, they focus on AA and NA. You cannot help those who don't want help, rich or poor. Rich or poor, families have relatives who are drug addicts. Once a person becomes an adult and has mental health issues, there aren't any options for the parents to get their adult children help. There aren't many options. Let me put it like that. I won't say any. There aren't many. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to say, well, he's grown. He can do what he want to do. He grown. He grown. Grown. And it is up to the individual. In most cases, it's up to the individual because they have rights. Even if his parents were adamant about putting him into a drug rehab program, he have rights and he can resist. And he can take off running every time he get a chance. Every time they try to strap him up, he can fake it out. He can fake them out and act like he okay. And the very first day that he get out, boom, he right back on the drugs. Sometimes they do drugs right there at the drug rehab facility. Those rehab centers have a modality for return business. If they cure everybody, they'd have to shut it down. Think about what I'm saying, fam. They'd have to shut it down. I guess the $60 million question is, like, what was that argument about? They were arguing loud enough for people to hear it. What was the argument about? Somebody's going to speak on it. They said others, that was the quote, others. It was loud enough for others to hear. So what was the argument about? It really doesn't matter what it was about, I guess. Maybe we just want that for context, but it really doesn't matter because there ain't no argument that you can have that would justify killing your parents. Unless your parents say, yeah, we're going to kill you tonight. It's going to be me. It's going to be us or you. You take your choice. I doubt that happened.